Hello, everybody, and welcome on to another edition of PPR Esports. I'm your host, as always, Best Teon NA, coming to you live from Baku City Circuit in Azerbaijan. I hope you're all ready for a very exciting round of racing today. We've got a great lineup for you. The competition is getting tighter than ever. At least 10 places on the grid are separated by only a point. Let's run you through everything right now. Baku City Circuit. It is 25 laps around. The lap record is held by Charles Leclerc. And he has a 143 flat. It's going to be 20 turns, 12 to the right and 8 to the left. There's going to be 2 DRS zones, one along the pit straight and one between turns 2 and 3. Some of the more pertinent areas on the track to look out for would be the area between turns 8 and turns 11, which is the very tight and twisty castle section. Claimed a lot of lives in the Division 2 race earlier today. Another place to look out for overtaking is going to be that long pit straight from turns 19 through 1. You're going to be seeing a lot, the DRS wide open, cars flying into turn 1. So, always fun to see that. It's 3.7 miles long, or 6 kilometers, which actually makes it the second longest circuit on the calendar. Running through our teams here, first we have the Mercedes AMG Petronas team featuring SF1776 and J. Lee Bowens. SF has yet to start a race, unfortunately. J. Lee Bowens has been improving his form so far. The rookie qualifying now in the top 10, 2 races in a row. Unfortunately, has not been able to convert that to the race with a 12th and 11th respectively. Next up in our order, we've got the Scuderia Ferrari with featuring King Kirk 67 as well as Caspita V12 95. Some good midfield form here. King Kirk taking pole in the last race and Caspita taking second in qualifying. A front row lockout. Unfortunately, in very Ferrari fashion, could not convert, ending in a 9th and 12th in Shanghai, respectively. Next up, we have the Red Bull Racing team with Delirious and Ramrod, a team that has definitely been struggling to find some points this year. Last 2 weeks, Delirious has had 11th and 12th in qualifying, followed by a DNF, and scoring another point, at least in the race, with 10th. Ramrod only found the points in Melbourne, looking to get back into form for Baku. Next up, we have the McLaren Renault team. Boss Cookie has been on fire this year, qualifying in the top 5 every single race. Race form, 2 podiums already, only exception being a 10th in Bahrain. Run the Jewels, on the other hand, did not race last week. We will see if he makes the grid for this evening in Azerbaijan. Here we are. We have the Renault team featuring Chandler Seda. He's qualified 16th and first and did not make it last week and still leads the championship miraculously. PPR Nick, or I might have that wrong actually, you'll have to forgive me. PPR Nick has not started a race yet. Hopefully we'll see him on the grid this evening. Finally, we have the Scuderia Toro Rosso Honda, Saxman and Brackish, who have been very, very, very consistent positioning here. 3 5s in qualifying in a row for Saxman and a race form of 6.56, just making for a very, very strong form. Brackish done well. He's got a podium on the season so far, which is great, as well as 2 7th place finishes. Down to the Racing Point team, we've got Andre Myri, got the pronunciation right this week. I hope you'll appreciate that, my man. And we got Ed Toronha. Points finishes for both of them. Andre with the asterisk there on the 7th because he did score those points in the Mercedes car. And it looks tonight he will be racing with Red Bull. He'll be filling in for Delirious, so keep an eye on him in that race tonight. Maybe going to help his team score some points. Finally, we have also Alfa Romeo featuring Reimer and Loki. Last week, Loki unfortunately had a very tragic DNF, and he had an okay qualifying with a 13th. Reimer with a DNS, and I believe he will make it. Racing with Red Bull, he'll be filling in for Delirious, so keep an eye on him in that race tonight. Moving on, we have the Rich Energy Haas team with LMR Sahara filling in his first ever race start in Shanghai. And, you know, hats off to him, by himself out there on the track, qualified 15th, finished in 14th. Gotta say, that is always appreciated. Finally, down to the Williams team. B-Dunk, Double OT. Each, B-Dunk's been on a bit of a run with a 4.24 in the races, but Double OT looking maybe to catch up to his teammate, finishing in 8th very respectable 8th last week. Finally, the Drivers' Championship. There's your top 13 drivers. Chandler Seda out in first with 68 points. He has been dominating the run so far. From there, we have Boss Cookie, followed by B-Dunk and Ed. Then we have Brackish, Saxman, and Andre Myrie, only separated by a deficit of about 3 points. And then finally, Reimer, Caspita, Delirious, Double OT, Loki, Ramrod, King Kirk, Run the Jewels, all separated by only 10 points. And that rounds out your drivers' standings. We're finally onto the constructors now. Here we are. We've got Renault in first, followed by the Toro Rosso team in second, Williams in third, McLaren in fourth, Racing Point fifth, Alfa Romeo sixth, Scuderia Ferrari seventh, Red Bull Racing eighth, Mercedes in ninth, and rounding out the back we have Rich Energy Haas F1 team. As always, that concludes our pre-qualifying coverage. There is the PPR Esports Twitter handle. Always feel free to shoot us a follow. And we've also got twitch.tv with my name next to it. If for any reason this stream goes down, hop over there and I will be spooling up a secondary stream in time. That is all for now. We move to the pit lane for qualifying, which has just started. As always, that concludes our pre-qualifying coverage. There is the PPR Esports Twitter handle. Always feel free to shoot us a follow. And we've also got twitch.tv with my name next to it. All right, we're now starting our first flying laps of the day here. Let's go ahead and ride on board with one of our championship contenders with Boss Cookie. Quite a fascinating track, this Baku. Very tight circuit. Low speed corners mixed up with long, wide open straights. I believe that the cars bring the softest of the compounds available. See who's in front of him. Oh, LMR Sahara back out for the Haas team this week. Always good to see. Cars not really giving themselves a lot of space on this on these out laps. You'll probably see a lot of them starting to slow down on that main pit straight. Strategy today, well, at Azerbaijan specifically, has a 66% chance of safety car. They've only held 3 races there. 2 of the 3 have had safety cars. Last year, most notably, there was the VSC. Couple of... Boss Cookie's rear end just getting a little loose there. I was saying last year, the only notable incidents really was Daniel Ricciardo having that embarrassing backup into Daniel Kvyat, as well as Pierre Gasly losing power halfway through the race and having to retire in one of the alleyways. Anywho, let's ride along board with Boss Cookie. He's got the DRS wide open, flying into turn 1. Should be doing about 210 miles an hour-ish. Clips the curb real nice. Using all that track to his advantage. Braking right at the 50 board. Into the turn. Another DRS zone. This corner, next corner, is not as imperative as you might think, but these next 2 turns set up the run into the left-right chicane. And you'll notice the drivers like to take a late apex here. That is due to the 90-degree angles on a lot of these corners. Not quite the obtuse angles maybe you'd see on a traditional track. Here we go now. On board. We got a yellow flag in Sector 2. And that is a collision involving PPR Nick. Oh, there's debris everywhere, and that's a car going slow. Oh, that will compromise Boss Cookie's lap. Let's ride on board, continue, see how he's doing. Cars everywhere. Lots of traffic to negotiate on this circuit. There's not many places for you to really tuck yourself away and stay out of the way. All right, our pole time so far, MRC Loki with a 143. Now Chandler Seda up to a 137.4 on the soft compound tire. Very aggressive strategies. Most of these drivers sticking with the soft. Boss Cookie on that compromised lap. Where will he end up? 8th gear, 212 miles an hour. Not bad. 3rd place so far. 3rd place for Boss Cookie. Very respectable lap considering he had to slam on the brakes coming out of the castle section. Nick will... Oh, no! And that is... What is a Toro Rosso driver doing there? Boss Cookie is out of qualifying with a 138. And that's going to be a grid penalty for, I believe it was either Saxman or Brackish. We got a full course yellow, full course yellow. Baku already delivering on its ruthless reputation here. Let's see, Reimer here on the medium compound tire. Looking maybe to go for that one stop, assuming there aren't any safety cars. More yellow flags at the castle section. It is just tough to make that corner. You're coming in about 4th or 5th gear, just trying to drop it down into 2nd, not wheel spin too much, end up in the wall, pick the right point to turn and get up that hill. So crucial on this track. And it looks like Andre probably just on an in lap here. Let's ride along with the rookie, J. Lee Bones. Looks like he's on his out lap right now. And Sahara has retired from the session. He is sitting P8 with a 142.6. Jaylee looking to get some temperature into those tires. Rocking what appears to be a very, very interesting looking helmet. Very, very reminiscent of Kimi Räikkönen's red, white, and black look. So far, your qualifying order has your championship leader, Chandler Seda, in first, followed by B-Dunk. Boss Cookie, who unfortunately had to retire, in third, followed by Reimer in fourth. Then behind him, we've got Brackish, Andre Myrie, Double OT, and Ed in eighth. Sahara, who has unfortunately retired, in ninth. Then following that, we have the Ramrod F1 Red Bull, followed by Loki, Run the Jewels, and Caspita. We got a yellow flag in Sector 3. With some cars going slow here. All right, riding alongside with Jay Lee now, and he's missed turn one on the flyer. He will likely just pit this lap, abandon that lap. And you've got our pole sitter, Chandler Seda, on another out lap right now. Looking to get a new time in. So far, the drivers in the Choose Your Own Adventure category, we have Loki, Run the Jewels, Caspita, and EGC Sparky riding along with the Haas team today. Always good to see new faces on the grid. Then behind him, we have King Kirk, Jay Lee, Nick, and Sax Man. We got a yellow flag in Sector 3. So we got a Williams car going slow. Chandler doing everything he can to get the temperature into those tires. All right, here we go. Your championship leader, Chandler Seda, on another flying lap. Turns 1, no problem. Into turn 2, braking at the 50 board, no problem. Down to the second DRS zone. He's got it wide open. It's the Wyoming portion of the track because it's shaped like a square. And Sector 1, he's done a purple Sector 1. Let's watch very carefully how he does into the tricky Sector 2 with the castle section. Can Chandler say to stay on for this flyer? Smooth through there, taking lots of curb with that right wheel. Braking right at the 50 board, perfectly through the castle section. No hassle whatsoever. Using all the curb. Really maximizing everything in their front of car has to offer. Flying down the back isn't straight. One of the most difficult braking zones on the track. Braking at the 50. Little lock of the front wheels. Nothing to worry about there, though. And finally, the penultimate corner. Taking a bit of a shallower line there, looking to set himself up for a good exit. And kissing that apex. And that one. It's like he's running from air, just kissing babies. Finally, down the pit straight. Yellow flags ahead. Nothing to worry about. And he will do a 136.7. 136.7. That is your time to beat, ladies and gentlemen. Chandler Seda, take a bow. Just extracting every last bit of performance out of that car. So we got a Haas car stopped right at turn 2. Double OT on an outlap right now. Lots of action last week in Shanghai. Couple battles going down to the wire. For the most part, though, that was a pretty standard Grand Prix, I'd say. There was some drama in the middle there, but all in all, it was a good week. I expect this week to be nothing less than spectacular. Baku, personally, one of my favorite to watch because there's just so much chaos. And that was a car stopped at the top of the castle section. That's going to compromise Double OT's lap. Very, very unfortunate. We've now got 1, 2, 3, 4 retirements in this qualifying. Yeah, and Double OT's going to back off there. And that looks like the Haas car of Sparky glitching out. Yep, that is going to be a bad internet connection there, folks. Always make sure to test your connection. Maybe unplug the modem sometimes. You know, whatever does the trick. But he is on a flyer, and he's running the softs. It looks to me like he's got an invalidated lap. Perhaps a violation of the track limits. That's going to be the Ferrari driver of either Caspita or Kingkirk into the pits. Got Reimer on an outlap right now. Just trying to keep his distance from the Toro Rosso driver ahead. Interesting that a lot of these drivers have gone for the soft. They must be counting on a lot of early safety cars. This tire will pretty much go right off a cliff in the early stages of the race, especially on this track. I mean, lucky the straights save you a lot of tire deg, but accelerating in and out of those low-speed corners can grind up the rears real bad, so you always want to keep an eye on that. Got a yellow flag in Sector 1. Hopefully no one stopped on the track. Okay. Reimer braking a little early into Turn 1, but he's got a good exit there. Turn 2, excuse me. Some drivers like to take this middle line through this part of the track, usually just trying to make people think twice about trying to go up their inside. Keeping it tidy through there. Into the left-right section. Taking a late apex. Good exit. Nice and clean. A lot of drivers like to really dip their right wheel over that curb. Braking past the 50. Very, very brave stuff. He's got a good exit there. Not too much wheel spin from what I can tell. Flying down the back straight. Where will he brake? Right before the 50. Not locking those front tires. Well done. Last of the slow corners there. Clean exit. Staying out of the wall. Kiss that apex. Mwah. And on time. Mwah. Beautiful. All right, down the pit straight. DRS open. Topping out at about 210. Where will he go? He'll move up position into P5. P5 for Mr. Reimer. Andre Myrie really doing well as a reserve driver, just taking the points any way he can get. I'm gonna have to start listing him as his own entity at this point. Got Saxman on a outlap right now, running the medium tire there. Keep an eye on Caspita and Double OT after the start, as they could be in a very lucrative position if the soft tire guys have to dive in at any point and there's no safety car. But this is Azerbaijan. Things have been known to happen kind of without warning. All right, it's going to be about 30 seconds left for anyone who wants to leave the pits. We've got Brackish, Saxman, Loki, and our King Kirk and our pole sitter out to do just one more, just in case. It's going to be a retirement from PPR Nick. He's sitting P9 right now with a 141, and he ran the soft tire. B-Dunk also trying to get an outlap. We got both the Toro Rosso boys down in 11th and 12th, respectively. All right. And he's just got it in. Good exit out of turn 1. Onto the second DRS. Where will he go? He will go smoothly. That's what he'll do. Saxman flying down, taking a line to the right side of the track here. Early on the brakes. Trail braking through there very cleanly, very, very tidily. Another late apex. Beautiful stuff here from the driver of the Toro Rosso car. Ramrod has retired from the session. Good exit there. Out of the left-right. Into the run, up to Castle. Hard on the brakes. No locking. Keeping those brakes nice and cool. And he's just got a little late on the brakes. Lucky to not take too much damage there. Let's check on his front wing. He's lost an end plate, but nothing too serious. He's kept the car in one piece. Now, he will have to overcorrect a lot on the high-speed corners with that lack of airflow outside the right-hand tire there. Penultimate corner here. And he's had to compensate a little bit there for the lack of downforce. How will he run? Missing that apex, unfortunately, but he's got the... Oh, very close to the wall there on the left. Maybe this lack of drag will help him on the run down to the finish line. 136, 137, and he's going to abort the lap. We got a car stopped in the castle section. Our pole sitter, Chandler Seda, has retired in the castle section. Andre Myrie has retired from the session. It looks like Brackish just got one in, moving up to P8. All right, folks, I'm going to hang tight before I make any assumptions about the starting order. Unfortunately, there was a lot of contact on that first qualifying session, so there will be some grid penalties handed out. I'm not quite sure who yet. For those of you just joining us, welcome to PPR Esports. This is the Xbox Division 1 round at Baku. As always, be sure to hit that subscribe button, as we're always trying to grow. Looking for those loyal fans, those best fans to help join the cause. I'm your host, Best Teon, coming to you live from Bay Area, California, United States. While we wait for the qualifying session to end here, I'll go ahead and fill you all in at home what the drivers had to say about last week. Many drivers feel the key for tonight is to strike a good balance between straight line speed and low speed cornering. I know that Saxman himself is taking some time to get a good setup from Boss Cookie himself, since Boss Cookie himself is an esports guy. Some of the drivers felt that a low front tire pressure is good for grip. It's good to help rotate that car when there's not really a lot of downforce working to your ability. Helps you kind of get the most out of that mechanical grip. And a lot of them feel very strongly that Chandler will continue his championship run solo dolo there. And, well, a lot of them are very happy to turn their attention to this fierce midfield battle. We've got P16 through P9 separated by only a margin of a few points, so do keep an eye on that today. And also in the news this last week, Aston Martin will be returning to the sport. They were acquired through a very, very large fee, led by one Lawrence Stroll and his beloved consortium, the same people who actually took over Force India while they were in administration. So we will see how that all pans out in 2021, but it'll be great to see, hopefully, the British Racing Green back on the circuit. But always, always good to see Lawrence Stroll Racing at the top of their game. As we wait to load in there, those of you at home, I don't know if you've had a chance to see, but Ferrari unveiled their new car today. They're calling it the SF1000. According to Mattia Binotto, he said they went for a very aggressive downforce package, as opposed to last year, which went for a low drag philosophy. I don't know if a lot of you know Ferrari that well out there, but that's kind of a very interesting way of saying, sorry, we got it wrong. We'll just do the opposite thing this year. But I'm just your local friendly neighborhood journalist, so my opinion is my own. Don't worry, you don't have to agree with me. And here we are for the formation lap. This is your starting order. We have Chandler Seda, our pole sitter, and B-Dunk joining him for company on the front row. Followed by that, we have Boss Cookie in P3 and EGC Sparky in P4. The Haas driver getting in a great lap in the session. Oh, no, and that looks like one of the McLarens is spun on the formation lap. He will have to retake that position if he wants to start there. I have no idea how that happened, to be quite honest with you. Is he broken? Oh, he's got the car up. Anti-stall didn't kick in. Good for him. Got the car underway again. Sorry, back to our starting order. Reimer, Kingkirk, 5 and 6. Then we have Andre Myrie, followed by Brackish, 7th and 8th respectively. Caspita in 9th, followed by Double OT in 10th. Then we've got, in the Choose Your Own Adventure category, we have MRC Loki, followed by Ed. in 11th and 12th. And then we have Sahara, Ramrod, and Nick in 13th, 14th, and 15th, followed by Run the Jewels, Saxman, and the rookie J. Lee Bones rounds out the grid in P18. Take a look at the tires we have fitted here, seeing what our non-top 10 finishers will decide to run on. And there you have it, folks. P8 through P17 all running the mediums, P1 through P7 all running the soft compound tire. Should be interesting to see how that shakes out. Turn 1 through, well, just about 9 at this track is usually very chaotic. A lot of people out there will remember Esteban Ocon ending up in the wall here. I believe he did a dive down the inside of on the outside of Kimi Räikkönen. He got put in the wall. Another great incident that happened here for those who watched in 2018, the infamous Red Bulls mounting Red Bulls. Verstappen and Ricciardo into turn 1, which a lot of pundits consider to be the turning point in Ricciardo's decision-making and one of the main reasons he made the move to the Renault team. And, of course, the Mercedes fans out there will remember the tragic puncture of Valtteri Bottas when he had the lead and it cost him a win. But drivers are getting set now on the grid. We'll have lights out very shortly. It's lights out and we're underway here in Baku. J. Lee Bones getting a great start there, already up 3 positions. Chandler Seda into turn 1 clean, followed by Boss Cookie and B-Dunk. A little bit of commotion there on the back of the track. All the drivers keeping it very tidy. King Kirk now up to P4. Reimer falling down to P5. We got a yellow flag in Sector 1. Yellow flag in Sector 1. We've got EGC Sparky falling all the way to the back of the field. J. Lee Bones now up to 12th. Great start for the Mercedes driver. All right, here comes the castle section. Everyone's keeping it nice and tidy through there. Oh, we got a yellow flag, Sector 2. Yellow flag, Sector 2. Is that someone stopped in the castle? That looks like Brackish. Brackish is out of this race. It could appear that way. Certainly. Let's go on board with him. And yes, he's missing his right end plate. So, and we've got a VSC. Our first of the race, probably our first of many. Let's see who opts to pit this early in the race. So far, your order hasn't shifted too much. We've got Chandler Seda, followed by Boss Cookie and B-Dunk in your podium paying positions. Behind them, we have King Kirk, Reimer, and Andre Myrie. 7th, 8th, and 9th, we have Ed, Loki, and J. Lee Bones. No one into the pits quite yet. And Sparky has left the session. Sparky has left the session, and he has rejoined the session? Tough internet connection. Double OT into the pits. Caspita into the pits. Caspita will be receiving a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Very unfortunate for the Ferrari driver. Nothing really going their way so far this season. Back up to racing speeds now, and it looks like field spread's already starting to kick in with our 3 drivers at the back in the pits. Looking like Double OT, Caspita, and Brackish. If you are a midfield driver, today is a good day to grab a nice bag of points. That is for sure. Got some tight battles forming here at the very front of the pack. Reimer at the back of this slipstream train here, down the back straight. Saving up that battery. Probably going to hit... Yep. Throw it into overtake for the pit straight here. Good short shift there out of the corner, just trying to get the traction down. Oh, a little close to the wall there. That Alfa Romeo is in the slipstream of the Ferrari. Let's see. He's got the speed. Can he stay in that slipstream? Where will he go? He's looking around the outside. Can he make the move stick? Into turn one. And King Kirk will just hold him off for the time being. Into turn two. Wise of the Alfa Romeo driver there. Wait for that DRS. Oh, King Kirk, a little snap of oversteer. That could cost him. We got a yellow flag. That is a Mercedes and a Haas going into the pits. Reimer up the inside. Can he hold the move? Good to keep it clean there, guys. Very good. Good hard racing. And he'll have to concede that position back to the Ferrari driver. Jay Lee, Sahara in the pits. Double OT moving up to P13. Into the castle section. That Ferrari driver is all over the place today. Can't find the traction anywhere. Clean through the castle section. Now let's see. Does Reimer have the bravery to try and outbrake Ferrari into probably the most high-energy braking zone of the track? No, he'll pick his move. He's got that battery nice and charged up. Throw that into overtake. There we go. Let's see. Both drivers running the soft tires here. Likely to be battling each other for most of the race. King Kirk. Oh, no, and that's Boss Cookie. That's Boss Cookie. Severe collision with B-Dunk. Safety car is out. The safety car is out. And it looks like your top runners will all get into the pits here. Most likely going onto the medium compound tire to finish this race. Boss Cookie in the wall. Has he gotten the car underway, though? He has. And he's missing a front wing. Very reminiscent of Fernando Alonso at Baku all those years ago. So, with all the pit stop action, we've got your new leader, Ed, promoted up to first, still running the mediums. Loki in second, followed by Chandler Seda in third, running the hard compound tire, looking to probably go a long time on that. Boss Cookie serving that penalty. Safety car is out. No surprise there. Full course yellows. Okay, your new order is Ed, Loki, and Chandler Seda in the podium paying positions, followed by Saxman, King Kirk, and Ramrod. Then we've got Andre Myrie, reserve driver to the stars, followed by B. Duncan Reimer, and Double OT rounds out your points paying positions. Behind them, we have PPR Nick, Jay Lee, Boss Cookie, Brackish, and Sahara. And the end of the pack here will be Run the Jewels, Caspita, and EGC Sparky. Ed just trying to keep temperature in those medium tires. Don't quite have the insulation of those softs. More like a windbreaker, really, the mediums. Really puts it in perspective how fast an F1 car is when you see just how slow the Mercedes is to the Racing Point driver. Burt Maylander getting his first call of the day. A lot of drivers opting to go on the hards, going to try to finish the race that way. Tempting as the hards would be, I would make the argument that the mediums will run a little bit better on this track as the race goes on. I only say that because the hards aren't the grippiest of the tires, though they have the hardest of the compounds. You will have to brake a little earlier than perhaps you'd want to. It looks like we'll be doing another lap of the track here with the safety car out. In the meantime, let me hop over to the chat here, see what's going on. See what all you lovely people have to say. Can I sing a Blink-182 song? I sound like Tom DeLonge. Very funny. Stryfium, it's funny you should say that. Blink-182 is actually my favorite band, and I've got a signed poster from him sitting in the corner of my office right now. So, yeah. Maybe next time, next safety car, I'll break out a little all the small things, maybe some I Miss You. My favorite song by Blink's got to be Not Now, but a lot of people don't like that one. It's kind of the last song they made before they broke up the first time. Great music video, though. Got 12 whole viewers. Thanks for joining us, guys, from wherever you are, guys or gals, for round 4 of PPR Esports Division 1 Xbox Racing. And that's not going to be a literal Xbox Racing. Oh, double OT being served a 5-second penalty for a collision with Caspita. Well, that just seems a little inconsequential, doesn't it? Now, I haven't gotten word from Race Control what the safety car will be doing, but if I had to estimate, he would be getting in this race. Yep, Race Control has officially told us safety car in this lap. Watch for Ed to back up the pack here. Would seem the drivers who bet on the softs have come out pretty well since they had the clairvoyance for this safety car. And there we go, folks. We are back underway here in Baku. Boss Cookie up a position on Jay Lee Bowens. And we've got Ramrod and Andre Myrie falling down the pack. Have the Red Bull drivers come together, much like their predecessors. Yes, they have. It appears they have. Andre Myrie is missing half a wing. And he'll probably want to pit on the next lap. Back on board with our leader. Ed about 9/10 ahead of Loki here. Chandler Sada looking to reclaim his spot at the top of the hill. Then we got Saxman followed by Kingkirk and Reimer. Jay Lee Bones making another move. Him and Ramrod just trading places. And we got a yellow flag in Sector 2. Yellow flag in Sector 2. Ramrod falling down the order. What's happened there? And the Red Bull driver is looking to do a 3-point turn. Great Raguthan impression, guys. But unfortunately, it won't get you many points. Back at the pack. Little spread. Caspita probably making a move on Sahara there. Right on his gearbox. On the softer compounded tires there. Yellow flag in sectors 2 and 3. Oh, that is PPR Nick. He is out of the race. PPR Nick is out of the race. And another VSC has been deployed. It looks like Chandler Sada will have to carry the load himself yet again this week. Cyril Abitable will have to be asking himself questions about the number 2 in this lineup. And we're back to racing speeds now. Little lock up there from Sahara. Caspita not getting the best exit. But he's staying in that slipstream. He's committed. Oh, and that's Sahara braking very early and right on the apex. And he's run wide. Sahara has missed the braking point entirely. He is in the corner there. And the Williams driver looking to join in the fun. Double OT now sneaking up the rear of Caspita. Into the castle section. Both drivers. Oh, that left tire grazing the wall there. Now let's see. Can Double OT just keep close enough on Caspita here to make a run at him down the pit straight? Got a yellow flag in Sector 1. That looks to be the Red Bull. A Red Bull driver going very slow. Nothing really going the way of the Milton Keynes team, running 15th and 16th respectively for Ramrod and Andre Myrie. Double OT on the faster compounded tires here. He's in the slipstream. Gaining on the Ferrari driver. 4 tenths. 3 tenths. 2 tenths. Caspita going defensive. Back to the racing line. Will Double OT try to outbrake him? No, he won't. He'll just stay tucked right in the hip pocket of Caspita. Maybe look for a move on the second DRS stray here. Oh, and a little snap of oversteer has cost him precious time. Can he stay on him? Yeah, this... Oh, we got Boss Cookie making a move on King Kirk there. Good on the McLaren driver to get back in the fight. Chandler Seda now up to P2. Looking to make a move on Ed. Ed has yet to stop as well, so it would appear Chandler will inherit that position either on the track or off. Through the castle section, and it looks to me like the Toro Rosso ARL Brackish getting backed up into Caspita. And a huge train right in front of these guys, all separated only by a few tenths. Yellow flag in Sector 2. That appears to be the McLaren of Run the Jewels. He's back underway now. Oh, we got drivers trying to go too wide through the straight. Oh, we've got Ferraris on Toro Rossos. Everyone jostling for position down the pit straight. Williams in on the action. Oh, King Kirk into the pits. Nezzy Williams up the inside. A little bit of a lockup on the left, and he's just lost out there to the Ferrari. Into the next DRS zone. Late on the brakes. Oh, he's not quite done it yet. How will his exit be? All 4 cars. Caspita going very defensive. Riding that middle line there. The Williams driver, he goes to the inside. Late on the brakes, late on the brakes. Oh, is that a love tap? Yeah, oh, that is going to be a love tap. Nick has left the session. The Williams driver just overcooking it there. Costing him valuable time on the Ferrari in front. On board with the rookie now, Jay Lee. Right on the gearbox of Brackish. We got a yellow flag ahead. Oh, that's a McLaren stopped in the castle section. Boss Cookie falling down the order. Very unfortunate for the McLaren driver. He was making a stellar comeback there after the 5-second penalty. Unfortunately, it is not meant to be quite yet. Gotta hand it to the Codemasters. They don't get a lot of things right, but the camera angles for Baku are phenomenal. Boss Cookie has retired from the session. Very, very unfortunate stuff. That's not going to be an on-track retirement or in the pit lane retirement for him. Stewards may have a word with him after the race. Jay Lee just outside that precious DRS threshold. Chandler Seda with a new fastest lap at 1:42. That is your time to beat. He is now in the jackpot for 26 points. And we've got a battle cooking here between Loki and Brackish. Loki not making the move yet. Oh, Brackish with a bit of a left rear lock. Parking right on the apex, not wanting Loki to maybe take a look up the inside. Very defensive driving from the Toro Rosso. Loki using every bit of curb. Into the castle section. Who can be cleaner through here? Who can pick their braking point just right? Very tidy, very smooth. Brackish is just up about half a leg on him here. Loki's now fallen back 1 2/10, 1 3/10. Those medium tires starting to fall off now. Where will he brake? Got B-Dunk crawling up on Saxman right now. Down the main straight. It's going to be the toothpaste car against the clothing line car. Where will they go? Saxman going defensive. No worries, as B-Dunk has a DRS. He will take the racing line and breeze right by the Toro Rosso car on the brakes. Saxman will concede the position and tuck in right behind him. Got Caspita and Ramrod in a tight one. Ramrod making a move on the Haas car, and he's by. The Red Bulls into the points. Where will he brake? Very smooth through there, very smooth through there. Still have 15 runners of the original pack, so that is always encouraging in any race. Little 3-car train forming here between the Red Bull, the Haas, and the Ferrari. Caspita maybe having a look at the inside, but nothing quite going there. Into the left-right complex. Caspita will have a look around the outside. Nothing really going there, though. 3 cars will probably form a nice little train here. Try to keep it tidy through the castle. And we've got Reimer coming up on Ed now. Caspita right on Sahara. Probably setting his car to in the high mode, maybe sending it up to overtake. Reimer and Ed into the pits. That will promote Jay Lee and Loki up to 5th and 6th respectively. Sahara going defensive. Trying to squeeze his Ferrari opponent almost against the wall there. No fear as the Haas car falls into his rearview mirror. There will be no outbraking there. Caspita now behind the gearbox of that Red Bull Ramrod F1. On 11-lap-old hards will likely just concede the position to the Ferrari. Not worth grinding up your tires for a guy you're not racing. Another lock for Ramrod, really struggling to keep those brake temperatures down. These high-speed straights punctuated with these low-speed corners just wreak havoc on you. And the Red Bull driver will let him through. Nothing really to see there. Taking a lot of that inside curb. No surprise. And into the castle section. And let's see here. Field spread kind of doing its thing. The Haas car, they're getting a little snap of oversteer. The back of the pack here, we've got a bit of a battle brewing. The Red Bull and the McLaren on very similar strategies. Likely both cars will have to... Well... Andre might have to stop before Run the Jewels does. But if both drivers can take care of the tires, I don't see why they can't finish on this compound. Loki diving into the pits, fitting the hard tire. That will promote King Kirk up to P8. All right. Let's see. Does a Red Bull driver have the balls to make it stick? Yep, it's going to be right up the inside. Keeping that inside line. And he is through on the McLaren. Double OT. Now up to 12th. Ooh, big lock up there for Myrie. Could cost him valuable time. Jay Lee, now up to 5th. Let's ride on with him. Mercedes driver's done well to keep his nose clean, and he's into the pits. Oh, little tap of the wall. Careful not to speed in the pits. Reimer with a new fastest lap of a 1:42.3. And that is Jay Lee onto another set of mediums and a front wing change. That has cost him very valuable time, unfortunately. He will probably come out in 7th. Excuse me, 8th. Ferrari will take that position. And he'll just beat Caspita out of the pits. Back onto the racing line. Not much drama there. Oh, a Ferrari driver on those softs, cooking those tires straight through. Just trying to make up as much pace as he can. Your championship leader, Chandler Seda, way out in front by almost 10 seconds. Could not be any more bothered by the chaos behind him. Jay Lee definitely finishing the race on those mediums. Look for him to make up a lot of time right now. Oh, we got a yellow flag in Sector 2. Yellow flag in Sector 2. Nothing that I can really see. It looks like what looks like a Toro Rosso of Double OT. Was that a Who is that? That's Brackish. That is Brackish. It would appear Brackish is out of the race. Very unfortunate. He had clawed his way up to 9th, and it was looking very good for the rest of the race. That will promote everyone up a position here and put Double OT back into the points. See if that Ferrari power's got enough. Not quite. He'll have to think about the move on the next straight. Another yellow flag in Sector 2. That's going to be a full course safety. Full course safety. Safety car is out. Safety car is out. That is the Red Bull of Andre Myrie. Andre Myrie is out of the race. It would appear the Castle section has claimed another life. Very, very unfortunate for the Red Bull driver. He had done so well the last couple of weeks in reserve, both as a Mercedes driver and a Honda driver. Curious to see. We got Double OT into the pits, Sahara into the pits. Just very, very bad timing for Caspita. He really could have used a pit stop there. And that's going to be Double OT and Sahara coming out on new tires. Double OT opting for the mediums, and Sahara very aggressively opting for the softs. Chandler Seda into the pits. Will he opt for the soft tire and try to make them last? Or oh, looks like he's got the yellow striped mediums out. And his crew's got him out. He should exit the pits in... Well, it looks like B-Dunk's into the pits, too. We could have a very interesting last lap battle brewing on our hands between these two. There's the safety car. Okay. Reimer's promoted up to P2 on 4-lap-old mediums. B-Dunk's going to come out in third. Ed and Saxman both into the pits. Well, there you have it, folks. It really is the VSC GP, or SCGP, depending how you look at it. And we've got Ramrod into the pits, Caspita into the pits, and we've got, it's going to be, folks, it's going to be banana tires the whole way home. Everyone fitting that yellow medium compound, except for Loki, who's opted to stay on the hard tire. Expect a lot of pushing in the last stages of this race. Only 10 laps to go. Likely we'll have about maybe 8 or 9 under racing conditions. Run the Jules into the pits. Take a look at the stops here, everyone. You've got your top 6 cars doing the 2-stop strategy. King Kirk down in 7th on a 3-stop. Good for him. And below that, we've got Double OT and Caspita both on 4 stops, followed by Sahara and Run the Jules on a 2 and 3 stop, respectively. And here's your big winners for the day. J. Lee Bowens making a very good case for driver of the day, up to P5 from P18. An incredible feat of driving. Strategies worked to his favor, and the safety cars certainly have been a godsend. And behind him, we've got Saxman, who's up 11 positions. So your back row candidates doing well to stay out of trouble and make their way up the field. One thing that I've observed about a lot of league racing is that it's really more a race of attrition, and how just keeping your nose clean, keeping your car intact can go a long way to getting you in the points. Last week, in fact, I was up about 3 positions off the start in my division. Unfortunately, the gentleman in front of me into one of the corners he braked very, very early in the wet, and well, the front wing of my Mercedes ended up right in his gearbox, and that sent me right to the back of the pack on the first lap. So, like I said, attrition. Just keep your nose clean, keep the car intact. You can see yourself sitting very much in the points, just like J. Lee and Saxman here. This driver's weaving around to keep those tires nice and warm. Wouldn't be Baku without some end of race drama. Do keep an eye on B-Dunk and Ed to jump Reimer, as their tires will be brand spanking new, but it really will depend who's managing to keep the temperatures up right now. One thing that, if you're not really paying attention, especially in F1 2019, you're cycling through your MFD, I'll admit it, I actually have a lot of trouble keeping an eye on my temperatures, as I usually run 25% races in my career mode, just made the jump to 50. Never really was something I worried about. I made the jump up to league racing, and now I'm starting to realize just how crucial it is to keep those very fickle Pirellis right where you need them. It's a lot like cooking a risotto. You really got to pay a lot of attention to it. I'll run through your order one more time. Your podium positions are Chandler Seda, followed by Reimer and B-Dunk, respectively 1, 2, 3. And then down in 4, 5, and 6, it's Ed, J. Lee, and Saxman. 7, 8, 9, King Kirk, Loki, Ramrod. 10th, 11th, and 12th is Double OT, Caspita, Sahara. And finally, rounding out the back is Run the Jules. It looks like safety car will be in this lap. And we are back underway here in Baku. Everyone keeping it clean into turn 1. Oh, that's going to be Toro Rosso getting pushed a little wide there by J. Lee. Some drivers still just trying to get some temperature into those tires. Oh, no, 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 and that's the Renault of Chandler Seda. He's out. He's in the wall. Double DNF for the French mark. It is all over here in Baku for Renault. Chandler Seda had driven a beauty, and he is in the wall. Folks, I cannot believe it. Drama always in Baku. Well done. Saxman up to P8. Double OT down to P9. B-Dunk is now in the jackpot for a victory. Perhaps his first of the season. Yellow flags in Sector 1 and 2. Most likely trying to clear the wreck of the banana boat crew. And that will be clear. Green flags all around. Wow, I am at a loss for words, ladies and gentlemen. Would appear he didn't just keep the temperature in those tires, and, well, oddly enough, went off at the same spot Grosjean did under the safety car, so, you know, you never know with this track. Got another yellow flag in sectors 2 and 3, and that looks to be the Haas car of Sahara. He is going to be... He's still in the race. Just a spin for the Haas car. Well done to keep his nose clean. And here you are, folks. Your battle for the win between Reimer and B-Dunk. Both these drivers have done well, both on a 2-stop. Both have promoted themselves well from their grid positions. Well, take that back. Just Reimer, really. B-Dunk's kind of been in the fight. Sahara being served a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Well, that's going to be a little more insult to injury than anything. Caspita into the pits as well. See his telemetry. You got Loki promoted up to P7. Oh, Loki and Saxman trading blows now. Through the castle section. We got another yellow flag in Sector 1, and that is Sahara, and he is stopped. Going slowly. As you all know at home, DRS will not be enabled quite yet. I believe it's the next lap. Well, these drivers will be able to open up that rear wing. It's worth about 10 miles an hour extra from what I understand, so it's like almost like having a curse system back on board. B-Dunk with a new fastest lap of 1:41.7. Your time to beat. He's now in the jackpot for 26 points. Oh, up the inside here. Double OT having a look at Loki, and he is through. Alfa Romeo driver not doing much in defense there. And the run down into turn 3. Toothpaste car going a little defensive. Back to the racing line. Loki up the inside. Will he make the move stick? No, he will abort that move. He will think twice, and he will look for another opportunity. Loki having opted to stay on that hard compound tire. Double OT pulling out a bit of a gap on him now. Jay Lee gaining on Ed. 7/10 the gap. Maybe on for his first podium. Quite the jump up the standings for him that would be. From last all the way up, probably, into the top 10 for the Mercedes driver. And Loki's going to fall back there. Those hard tires not quite giving him the temps he need. Double OT, late on the brakes. Picking his move for Saxman very carefully. Let's see, will he turn up his battery here? Yes, he will. He's going for the overtake. He's in the slipstream. Tidy through there. Saxman not going defensive quite yet, holding his line. DRS is open. Double OT looking to the inside. He's got the inside. Who breaks first? Double OT breaks first. Very clean through there, but the Saxman's got a way better exit into turn 2. He will retain that position. Double OT coming back at him again with the DRS. But he's just a little too far back to make the move happen right now. Doing well just to stay right on him. You never know if he makes a mistake. Chandler Seda has left the session. Absolutely gutted for him. Gutted for him. We will have to have a chat with him before next week's race and get his thoughts. 5 laps to go here. Jay Lee, 9/10 back on Ed. B-Dunk now pulled out a 2-second gap over the second place car. Double OT giving it a little gas. He's cut it into hot lap now. Trying to make up every bit of time as he can before he goes into the penultimate turn. A little early on the brakes. He's got it in hot lap mode now. He's done well. Good. He's neat. He's in the slipstream still. Sahara being handed a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Very inconsequential penalty, but rules is rules. All right. The Williams of Double OT in the slipstream. He's got the wing open. Saxman going defensive. Where will the Williams driver go? He's going to go to the outside. He's going to go to the outside, looking for the cutback. And he's not quite done it. Maybe looking for a move here. Oh, just a little late on the brakes, but he'd rather have it on this turn. Oh, tiny bit of wheel spin there. He's going to have to charge up that battery. Through Sector 1 now. Think twice about making a move. Both drivers running on damn near similar tires. Only a 4/10 gap now. Now the run down to the castle section. Both drivers probably going to take a lot of that inside curb, as they like to do. And Reimer falling down the order. There's debris all over the castle section. Perhaps the Alfa Romeo. Oh, we got yellow. Virtual safety car's been deployed. VSC's been deployed. What has happened here? Jay Lee, due to whatever happened to Reimer, being promoted up to 3rd now. The rookie and is maybe on for his first ever Division 1 podium. Fingers crossed to those of you at home who are Mercedes fans. Now on with our race leader, B-Dunk. Doing well to keep that engine nice and cool. Only 3 laps to go. Double OT up to 6th as Reimer and Saxman go into the pits. And that's going to be a wing change for the Alfa Romeo driver and the Toro Rosso driver. He's going to beat him just out of the pits. He will come out in P8, and we are back under racing conditions now. And we've got King Kirk, Ferrari, and Mercedes. 3 laps to go. Classic heavyweight bout here on the streets of Baku. On Jay Lee on 2-lap older tires, probably not making much of a difference. Just trying to take care of the car and bring it home. Into the castle section. Both drivers keeping it clean. A lot of short shifting there. Probably just trying to save fuel at this point. He's got that deployment turned all the way up to mode 3. Braking nice and early. Trail braking through there cleanly. Penultimate turn before the isn't. Picking it nicely. Got a nice little train forming here between Ed, Jay Lee, and King Kirk. B-Dunk pulling out now a 6.8 second lead on the second place car. And we've got a yellow flag in Sector 2. Yellow flag in Sector 2, that is a Ferrari. Ferrari of Caspita. He has crashed in the castle section. Another Ferrari DNF. Very, very unfortunate. It is all up to King Kirk now to see if he can reclaim some of that glory for the Italian mark. He is dropping back now by about a tenth, 2 tenths there, 3 tenths almost. 2 laps to go. I would expect him to start pushing pretty heavily in the closing stages here of these laps. Caspita, who was running P11. Very unfortunate. And it looks like King Kirk may have backed off. Perhaps some team orders just to focus on bringing the car home now that they've lost a teammate there. There you have it, folks. Out of the 18 runners, we are down to 11. As Sparky kind of glitched out. He's not really actually running the race. That's about a, whatever you want to call it, 1 out of every 2 cars is out of the race. I'd say Baku's got about a 500 KD. It's pretty respectable. It's not even Call of Duty. Yeah, folks, there you have it. He's backed completely off. I don't really see much happening anymore at this point in time. But as they say, never give up. Reimer closing up on his teammate now. Those soft compound tires. Pretty much like running shoes compared to the hards at this point. Hards maybe more like tap dancing shoes. Let's see, will team orders be a factor here? Will he just let him through? It would appear so. Not quite. Oh, a new fastest lap by Reimer. Yep. And he will let his teammate through. Good on the 2 Alfa Romeo drivers to respect one another on separate tire strategies and just bring the cars home. Jay Lee now up on Ed. Maybe I was wrong about that last lap drama. It wasn't going to be King Kirk. It was going to be the rookie, Jay Lee. Into the castle section. Ooh, late on the brakes. That's very brave. He might be making a play for the win here. We got a yellow flag in Sector 2. That is going to be... We got 2 cars stopped in the castle section. That's going to be Ramrod falling down the order. Debris everywhere. Sorry, folks. I can't skip to that incident quite yet. I want to stay on board with the Mercedes driver here. And that looks like the Ferrari of King Kirk. He is out of the race. King Kirk is into the wall. That is a double DNF for Ferrari here. You can hear the moans from Maranello all the way here in Azerbaijan. Here we go. Last lap drama. Jay Lee Bowens versus Ed Torona. Late on the brakes for the Mercedes driver. Good exit out of turn 1. Staying right on Ed. Ooh, late on the brakes again. Oh, and he's oversteered! And he's spun! The Mercedes driver is spun. And that is half his wing gone. Still running in that podium position. He's just got to get the car to the end here. Gutted. And that's a right lockup, and he's off the track. And he's off the track. Double OT up to the podium positions. Jay Lee cracking under the pressure with only half a lap to go. Down to P5. Folks, that will do it from Baku. Only 10 runners to finish the race. The castle section being the executioner of many a good driver today. Truly an unforgiving track. B-Dunk onto the final straight. Always got to make sure that they keep it out of the wall, especially here. B-dunk on the final run. And that will be B-dunk, your race winner in Baku with a miraculous come from behind win. Chandler Seda throwing it all away with only 7 laps to go. The Williams driver must be elated. And in second place, we have Ed Torona bringing home the points for Racing Point. And we've got Double OT in third. And it looks like Loki is out of the race. Has Loki crashed with only a lap to go? Saxman fourth, Jay Lee in fifth. Very respectable drive from the Mercedes driver and his first points of the year. Congratulations to you, sir. I tip my cap. It is not easy holding it together on this track. We got Reimer in sixth. Got Ramrod up to seventh. Run the Jewels in eighth. And Sahara, the Haas driver, stealing the last point of the day. With Boss Cookie crashing out, that should promote B-Dunk up to second in the driver standings. Folks, thank you for joining me tonight. As always, I am your host, Best Teon NA. Thank you for riding along with all the action here in Azerbaijan. Congratulations to our winner, Williams double podium with the Racing Point there, splitting them. Fantastic drive from those who could survive. Truly a drive to survive scenario. From all of us here at PPR Esports, we wish you the best. A happy Tuesday evening. Please do join us again a week from today. Unfortunately, I will not be on the call. I will be on business out of town. So hopefully we'll have someone else filling in. We will be heading to next week would be, I can't actually think off the top of my head. Forgive me. That would be we'll be in Barcelona next week, the home of both Fernando Alonso and Carlos Sainz Jr. And just one more time from all of us here, thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did, and you stay classy.